Well, basically, Jeff, there's over 10 million people in the UK currently that have a criminal record. So that's quite a vast number of the working population. The estimates say there's about 20% of the working population with some form of conviction or another. And over the years, employers, as we know from the experience of the forum, have been very risk averse when it comes to taking on people with criminal records. The statistics show something like 75% of employers would use the declaration of a criminal record in itself to reject an applicant outright. And naturally, we want people to be able to get into work. And because employment has been key to reducing reoffending, it's a critical factor actually, along with obtaining housing. We needed to support employers to have more confidence to be able to tap into the vast talent pool, really.
So are employers, especially small and medium enterprises, aware that their current recruitment policies and practices may not be up to scratch?
It's probably likely that they don't know, to be honest, Jeff, because there's actually been, since 2012, major changes to the disclosure legislation every single year since 2012. There's been a major change in legislation, and it's not something that's very much promoted in the public arena. So many employers will not know that their policies are out to date, or even the impact of having an out-of-date policy.
It's something that you're obviously very passionate about. What's your experience when it comes to some of the practices of certain organisations?
Well, some organisations will have what is called a blanket approach to a declaration of a criminal record, and what that means is on their application forms or online portals, it may have a tick box saying, do you have a criminal record, yes or no? And if the applicant ticks the yes box, then they're automatically booted outside of the recruitment process. Now, the recruitment form or online portal doesn't ask that applicant to expand upon their criminal record. So very many people, including people who've got driving convictions, are excluded from the recruitment process. And what a lot of employers don't know is that as a result of the changes to legislation, somebody would be disclosing a driving conviction for longer than going to prison for 11 months.
Obviously, a lot of organisations are unaware of all this, but do you think that many organisations are starting to come in line with what you're introducing?
Well, to be honest, Jeff, they aren't, and that's why it was a couple of years ago that we were actually approached by the Disclosure and Barring Service themselves. They used to be called the CRB, the Criminal Records Bureau, and they issue checks for the most sensitive positions or highest positions of trust, such as working with children or vulnerable adults, or being a lawyer, being a barrister, being an accountant. So the Disclosure and Barring Service themselves said employers aren't aware of this, and could you as Nacro support us in getting the message out there to employers?
You've worked with DBS and the CIPD to introduce this, haven't you?
Absolutely. It's guidance that we produced in partnership with the CIPD and also the support from the Disclosure and Barring Service. So it's undertook quite a rigorous interrogation. There's been lawyers from the CIPD side that have had to review it to make sure that everything is accurate, and also from the government perspective, they've also had to look at it and make sure that they agree with the messaging that's within the publication. So,
what support then can Nacro help organisations with?
Well, we've got a dedicated helpline, first of all, which is free for employers to contact. So all they need to do, as long as it's between the hours of 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, if they've got any concerns about employing somebody with a criminal record at all, or they don't know what level of checks they can carry out on a position, or they want guidance on getting their policy made up to date, or they've got concerns about an existing member of staff and whether or not they can continue to employ this person, any kind of criminal record issue whatsoever, including a little bit of hand-holding when it comes to assessing risk, they can contact us at that telephone line for absolutely free operational support. So we like to try to say it's a no-brainer, really.
What would your message be to employers at our effort event today?
All you need to do is call us for free.